Next on Good Morning El Paso, County Judge Veronica Escobar is set to give a State of the County address later this morning. What topics can we expect to hear about?
Iowa, will you get your numbers up, please?
Plus, in the race for 2016, and for the first time in months, a new national poll showing Donald Trump is no longer on top. This just ahead of tonight's Republican debate.
And authorities in Mexico leaving no stone unturned this week as they continue their efforts to locate an infamous drug lord.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
A very good morning to you, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. Right now, it is 6 o'clock on the dot. Time to check in with Crystal following yesterday's nice and warm day.
Yes, and Crystal, hopefully another nice and warm day today.
Still looking pretty warm in today's forecast. Not quite as warm as yesterday, though. We actually hit a high of 81 degrees in El Paso. Outside this morning, we do see some of that upper-level moisture moving on in with partly cloudy conditions outside this morning. Notice it's that grayish color you see kind of moving across the screen, particularly focused over that west and east part of our viewing zone and then down to the south as well. So there's our clouds and radar map. No rain for us. Our temperatures were at 56 in El Paso and in Las Cruces 47 degrees. Same start to the morning temperature-wise as we've been seeing, and this afternoon we'll still be in mid-upper 70s. The changes in the forecast do hit, though, starting tomorrow. Your Thursday to Friday, we do track much better chance of rain, so we will take a look on your raincast coming up.
Okay, thank you, Crystal. Happening today, El Paso County Judge Veronica Escobar is set to deliver the State of the County address. We have video of last year's address when Escobar said, quote, "We have cleaned up county government, changed the culture, and made investments." A big topic at last year's address that is expected to come up again is the issues arising from the financial instability at El Paso Children's Hospital. The address will be later this morning at the El Paso Convention Center. It starts at 11:30 in the morning and will bring you complete coverage on ABC7 at noon. Also happening today, students and staff at UTEP have one last opportunity to take part in speaking out against the new campus carry law here in Texas. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live now with a preview. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie. Beginning August 1st of next year, the campus carry law will allow students and staff to carry a concealed handgun on campus. But there is a group of students, teachers, and faculty that have been rallying against having any weapons on campus. Today is the last of 3 forums designated to gather feedback about SB 11. UTEP's Concealed Carry Task Force is considering all the opinions and all the input that it has received in the last few weeks. It will then make recommendations, develop policies, and even decide where guns will be allowed on campus. But it's the UT System Board of Regents that has the final say on the implementation of the law. This past month, we've seen dozens of students and even professors protest against the new law, many saying that it will create a fear in the classroom. Many of those in support, though, say that they want to be prepared in case anything happens on campus. The forum is happening today at 5:30 at the Tomas Rivera Conference Center inside the Union Building East. Hillary, back to you.
Thanks so much, Denise. Covering the race now for the White House this morning, Donald Trump is no longer the clear frontrunner heading into the 3rd Republican primary debate tonight in Boulder, Colorado. He'll now have to share center stage with Ben Carson, who is neck and neck with Trump in that new national poll. ABC's Bazi Kanani has more on what we can expect tonight. It's your voice, your vote.
A change on the debate stage. This time, 2 men placed front and center for their rankings in the polls.
Iowa, will you get your numbers up, please?
A humbled Donald Trump acknowledging Ben Carson's rise to first place in Iowa, and in one new poll, in a virtual tie with Trump nationally.
I mean, I am second. It's not like terrible, but I don't like being second. Second is terrible to me.
Ahead of tonight's debate, Carson is not taking those new numbers for granted.
You know, I do realize that, you know, it's a marathon. We're still, you know, more than a year away from the election. And there'll be ups and downs.
While Trump and Carson are expected to hit hard at each other in tonight's debate, other candidates are battling to be seen as the alternative to the outsiders. Jeb Bush declaring friend and protege Marco Rubio a GOP Obama. Rubio suggesting Bush is part of the past.
We need to elevate a new generation of leadership.
The candidates tweeting pictures of their debate prep. John Kasich promising to take the gloves off.
Let the chips fall where they may, because I'm done with being polite and listening to this nonsense.
There are 14 Republicans still in the race, but once again, only the top 10 will be part of the main debate, which is expected to have a significant focus on economic issues. Bazi Kanani, ABC News, Washington.
Also happening today, Wisconsin Congressman Paul Ryan is expected to be formally nominated for House Speaker. Congressman Trey Gowdy, a favorite of House conservatives, is expected to nominate Ryan. Ryan is facing Florida GOP Congressman Daniel Webster in today's election and is expected to win. His nomination is all but assured to be approved by the House of Representatives, and that will be tomorrow.
New this morning, Mexican prosecutors say they have carried out search warrants in 3 states and seized 11 small planes in the search for escaped drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The raids started in July and have so far led to the seizure of planes, 6 houses or other buildings, weapons, drugs, and vehicles. Authorities say they located Guzman in a mountainous area that stretches from Sinaloa into neighboring Durango state, and that he was wounded while escaping from their raid. The trial continues today for Martha Acevedo, the woman accused of strangling her husband. Yesterday, the El Paso County Sheriff's Detective Jorge Andrade, who worked the case, testified before the court. He told jurors that during an interview, Martha Acevedo said a drunk Jose Acevedo punched her and she passed out. She said she woke up a short time later on the couch with her husband passed out on another couch. The woman allegedly told detectives she had wrapped an apron around her husband's neck and pulled hard on the ends. She said her husband did not struggle because he was very drunk. The state rested its case yesterday, and the trial continues this morning as the defense starts its case.
An update now on that crash that we brought to you as breaking news yesterday morning. Police say a teenager was behind the wheel and he may have been drunk. Police say 17-year-old Jonathan Alonso Honato was speeding down George Dieter near Montana just after 2 a.m. when he crashed a car into a light pole and a tree. Video from our round-the-clock news crew shows what that car looked like. Emergency crews did manage to pull Honorato, who was still alive, out of the mangled wreck. He is now at Del Sol Medical Center with serious injuries. No one else was in that car. A local attorney says the municipal courts are throwing poor people in jail. Attorney Stephanie Welch spoke before City Council Tuesday and made it clear the Constitution and Texas law protect people from being thrown in jail just because they can't pay a debt. Yet Welch says that is exactly what the courts are doing. She provided examples of people serving time in jail for what she calls fine-only offenses, things like public intoxication and driving without insurance. Welch says the courts have an obligation to work with the indigent instead of setting them up for failure. City Rep Claudia Ordaz made several recommendations during that city council meeting, and among them says she wants the city manager to work with the municipal clerk reviewing municipal court process. She also wants the city to help El Pasoans who can't pay a fine to learn more about their options to avoid going to jail. The city will review these recommendations and then make a decision.
We have an ABC 7 traffic alert for you happening today. Starting tonight at 9 o'clock until tomorrow morning at 5, the Spur 601 entrance ramp to Purple Heart Memorial Highway or Loop 375 northbound will be closed. Crews will be working on the double right lane project.
And speaking of traffic, let's take a live look right now at the roads. This is I-10 and Airway looking good out there, getting a little busier, but obviously no tie-ups there from that nice clear shot.
And we have much more to come here on Good Morning El Paso.
It was a lengthy first game of the World Series last night as the New York Mets took on the Kansas City Royals. We'll have the highlights coming up.
And if you were watching the game last night, then you were among many other baseball fans confused about this. We'll let you know just what happened after the break.
And what happened with our forecast? It's so warm. Where did fall go, and is it making a comeback?
Well, Crystal Cly is showing us that we could be seeing a cool down come Halloween.
That's right. There is going to be a big comeback with fall weather. We're going to check in on the changes to your forecast over the next 7 days coming up.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.